Hi, I'm Lada from Astrolada.com with your April 2018 videos. Saturn is going retrograde. We'll be required to work extra hard for the next 5 months in certain areas of our life and eliminate things from there. While Mercury is going direct this month, which is great news because some complications that happened the first part of the month will be resolved by the second. I'll walk you through everything. Just a quick announcement though. Making 30% off webinars that I'm making in March, one with Robert Phoenix on Chiron in Aries. It's only $29. He'll make personal predictions how it will affect you. It will be about healing something, healing wounds that have been deep-seated in us from birth, that are the most painful areas of our life. He will make personal predictions and world predictions. It's only $29 till the 24th of March. And the other webinar is with Krasi, Babylonian astrologer, on the 31st of March. Again, it's 30% off till the 31st of March. It's about ancient magical astrology for modern times, practical solutions and remedies for love, for heartbreak, for financial and career problems. So she will teach you how to make talismans, how to use astrology to remedy difficult situations, the way the ancient did it, how to make also special rituals in order to strengthen your certain indications in your life and in your horoscope, like love, money, So do come and join us. Can't wait to see you. Cancer, April 2018. And the energy is speeding up because we're going to have a lot of planets in cardinal signs. And as you know, you are also a cardinal sign, whether it's your ascendant or sun or even moon in Cancer. And cardinal signs are all about new beginnings, big shifts in direction, change, sudden separation with the past, and taking very important cardinal decisions that change the direction of your life overall. And now let's look how Cancer will be affected. Well, the big players this month are going to be in your 10th house and your 7th house. Let's see how they're going to play. We're going to have, you are having the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde in the 10th house of career and social status, and Saturn and Mars in the 7th house. And from there, they're making a difficult aspect the first week of April with each other. What does it mean? Well, the first week of April, the first 10 days can be a bit stressful for Cancers because some very important decisions have to be made. Some very important things will escalate in regards to this 10th and 7th house. Which 7th house is your personal relationships or business partnerships or your marriage or committed relationships with others. And we have two malefics there. So malefics doesn't necessarily mean that your relationship will be ruined or your business partnerships will be ruined, but that there will be escalations of some difficult to talk about issues, or some issues that you really need to bring to the surface now and work with personal efforts. And especially the first 10 days, Mercury, the planet of communication, is being triggered by those two difficult planets, Saturn and Mars, in your 7th house. And Mercury is about speaking out your truth, and it's retrograde. It's about it's about bringing things that that were buried in some way, to discuss them, which can directly impact your social status as well. So for example, some important, and the 7th and 10th house very much often are connected both to marriage. So some important conversations can come up, and some important developments in your personal relationships that are a bit more stressful, that require more of your energy and efforts, that require extra push and self-control in some way, because those Mars and Capricorn Mars and Saturn in Capricorn, sign of patience and control, but also sign of restructuring. And you'll be talking about those things with your partners, business or personal partners. Some issues will escalate, they have to be addressed. Some mistakes or some unspoken things, Mercury's communications, that were not mentioned before between you and partners, will come to the surface and will make you almost like take very important decisions which will directly also impact your whole social status. the whole status of your marriage, the whole status of your business partnerships or collaboration or client or client relationships of some sort, or some kind of negotiation or contract, the seventh house rules, any kind of agreements that we have with other people that will be a little bit challenged, that will require us to rework the relationship, to rework the partnerships or the terms of negotiation of some sort. And a lot of those will be probably connected to your career, because Mercury is making the 10 aspect, the retrograde, being retrograde and making the difficult aspect from the 10th house of career. But it can also be on personal level. Also, the 10th house, when Mercury is retrograde till the middle of April, is about you possibly working on some old career projects that have to be fixed, that have to be addressed and mistakes corrected, that have to be possibly, it will require more of your efforts, it will require more of using your skills and ability to communicate, and you might feel very much antagonized by other people because of the difficult aspects, maybe in regards to your career project that you're working on or something to do with your career development. You might meet some opposition in the face of all the more authoritative people, Saturn in Capricorn, or in the face of more disruptive people, Mars in Capricorn as well. There might be certain tension between what your goals in regards to your career is, what your plans, the flow of that career project or structure that meet some kind of resistance, or some kind of the need to overcome and resolve some issue that comes to you through others in some way. Might be collaborators, clients, other people in your life, or, as I said, also relationship, personal relationship. So something pushes you to make an important decision in regards to both career and to both your personal relationships. So there might be some clash because of having to work and to make some changes in your career. This can directly impact some of your personal relationships. So because something is happening in your personal relationship or marriage, this can impact your social status overall or your career goals of some sort. There can be a clash in the need to find a solution to that and the need to change both in some way. But yes, you are reworking till the middle of April. Certain old issues, maybe some important communications will happen with authority figures that cannot be postponed anymore, the 10th house. Maybe also an old career opportunity can appear, some project, because retrograde is about something from the past that you have to put more efforts in, that you have to complete or change your plans. So it's a bit unpredictable when it comes to your career in the first part of April. And then it starts settling down. Mercury starts moving direct from the middle of April, which means that the wind of change is coming. You've made some decision, and now you're starting to implement it and to move forward again with your career plans. Maybe something for you came to be reworked, to be put extra efforts on in regards to your career, and from the middle of April, Mercury starts moving direct, and whatever complications were there, you start to resolve them, and possibly the resolution will take till the end of the month for you to be clear where your social status, where your career is heading, and if there were any complications with relationships, how this will be resolved. But they will be resolved by the end of the month, or you'd have made the necessary changes. But as I said, it's like a big shift. Look, so many planets, and these are active planets. These are intense planets in cardinal positions from Cancer, affecting such important areas of your life, authority figures, institutions, affecting personal or business relationships, So cardinal decisions have been made. It might be a bit stressful, but by the end of the month, those things get resolved. And when we have two malefics together, it's rare, that Mars and Saturn are together the first part of the month, especially the first week. They're, though, in a very good sign together. They're in Capricorn. Yes, there will be some challenges coming to you from others, but you will be in some way, you'd have also the necessary patience and perseverance, because they're both in a sign where they're very strong. When Saturn or Mars in signs where they're weak, they act very painfully, out of ego, out of impatience, they can act very destructively. But when they're in a sign where they're strong, like Capricorn, yes, something is challenging you, something is making you change relationships, something is making you take difficult decisions, but you have and others are challenging you, but some authority figure might be as well putting demands on you and making you take decisions as well. But it's for good. It's to have more, eventually to have more structure, stability in your life and better social status. And you also should respond through Capricorn energy with others, which is through more patience, through more perseverance, But as I said, especially the first week, 10 days, such issues can escalate. But not to worry, we need those pushes, those universe pushes to make us move things. That's what cardinality then called also in ancient astrology movable signs. Movable means make a move, make a change, And let's see, so important developments there. Mercury starts moving direct, so career problems start improving from the middle onwards towards the end of April. What else do we have? Just a second. We have Saturn going retrograde in your 7th house. We spoke about that Saturn is with Mars there, but from around the 19th, Saturn goes retrograde, and it was gonna stay retrograde in your 7th house till September. So what it means is it's going to be more intense the beginning, but what it means is that this till September you'd have to be putting extra efforts to consolidate a relationship. If you want a relationship to stay in your life, you have to put more efforts, you have to reorganize it in some way. Retrograde is to examine it, to go deeper within, to reconstruct it in some way. So some business agreement or some personal relationship or marriage can be more testing and demanding, and you're taking very important. So it's not just April, because Saturn goes retrograde there till September. You'd be dealing with having to correct and to Saturn's ultimate goal is to master better an area that it goes retrograde in through personal efforts and perseverance, by facing challenges that push you to to be more mature, that push you to eliminate the things, because Saturn is a planet that has separative influence, which means eliminating certain aspects of contracts, business or personal relationships that are unwanted, or if a relationship has played out its role already, now when Saturn goes retrograde it becomes too intense and you are not able anymore to brush and cover up and excuse those inequality in the relationship, which is making it, which is making it outdated, or which is making it unconstructive and not useful for your life. So this can be a very important period for if you want to keep that relationship, to eliminate the unnecessary parts of it, or if it's no longer going to be productive in your life, to be eliminated from your life, or if you're already in a relationship that is good, to deepen and to take extra responsibilities with that partner, business or personal partner, to really dig deep and take those, if this relationship is valid for your life, if it's good, if it's lasting, the Saturn retrograde day is not gonna make you separate with the partner or eliminate aspects of that relationship. It will make you take extra duties and responsibilities, which can feel a bit, overwhelming, which can feel a bit like a relationship is pushing you to be more responsible and mature and grown up. But only the ones that, how do I say, productive and healthy will stay. But it's, if you, especially the early born Cancers born in June and the beginning of July, you'd feel this the most during the Saturn retrograde. Or if your ascendant is in Cancer in the first 10-12 degrees, you'd feel this now starting from April till September approximately. These important issues will be solved. Or if your moon is in Cancer in the first 12 degrees, 10-11 degrees, Cancers that are born a bit later, the July born Cancers, they'll feel it next year and the year after that, but still those themes will start resonating for them from April now. Now I don't want to sound negative, actually for some people this can be really good, that's what they've been waiting for, something to give them a push to make those changes in their direction. And also it can indicate that when a planet goes retrograde in the 7th house, that someone from the past appears. Some relationship can be resumed, or and it can be a working relationship, because Saturn is often connected to something to do with work over the next 4 months. While it's retrograde, it can be a business, work relationship that comes back to be worked on deeper, to be consolidated, or it can be a personal relationship. Especially it can be someone that hurt you in the past that comes back for you to, that a similar situation, either the person themselves comes back or a similar situation repeats itself. So, because Saturn is about repetition, doing something over. When it's retrograde is about doing something over. So something can repeat, so it can allow you to master that relationship better, to master your feelings about that relationship better, or about that business partnership, or if it left you with a bitter taste, Saturn rules the taste of bitterness, to work through those issues and release them, and basically come out of it in September, October, much more mature attitude, with much more detachment, with much more constructive and healthy balance in your relationships. And Saturn is represented also by the death with the scythe. So it just comes to remove the things that are gangrenous, that are Saturn doesn't want to kill everything and eliminate everything, only the things that are dead there, that they don't have any more life force, and Saturn comes and chops it off. So that's what it does when it goes retrograde. And if problems are escalating, just remember this is a cleansing process, and remember that you'll be left after that, when Saturn moves direct, with much better and much more realistic relationships, business or personal ones, and ones that can be much more lasting. The ones that survive Saturn retrograde period, they become more productive, more, especially business relationships as well. They're more committed in the long term, and they're implanted much more lastingly in your life after that. So it's not a doom and gloom prediction for relationship. It's actually very important phase of that. And as I said, especially the early born Cancer, Sun, Moon or Ascendant feel this the most. And then we have Venus in your 11th house. Wherever Venus goes, this is where things are happening in a smooth, easy way. So if things become too challenging with those important decisions that Cancers have to take, with those important life choices that a lot of them will be encountering in April, that are spinning the wheel of fortune for them, when they want to go and have a respite, where do the good things come to them from? From the 11th house, which is, of course, friendships, social connections, and so maybe you can spend in April a good time with friends. Good things in love can come to you through friends, or through going to places that are, because Venus rules is the planet of love, and 11th house is social places where people get together. It might be a concert, it might be a place where, you go to listen to a lecture with other like-minded people, or it might be friends that introduce you to someone, or it might be just you spend some loving moments with friends and like-minded people and groups that support you in some sort, that feel healing and soothing in some way as well. Okay, so that's where Venus, and the 11th house is the house of gain. So when Venus transits the 11th house, it's easier for us to be more gainful in some way as well. So you be socially active. This is where the easy, smooth influences come from. Venus makes only good aspects. And by the way, Venus in Taurus helps with the trine aspect, those planets, Saturn and Mars, that are most stressed, in your 7th house. So kind of approaching relationships from maybe involving like a friend in that, or maybe getting a friend's counsel or advice, or maybe something can help smooth out any relationship stresses and complications by attending groups, by going on forums, the 11th house, and or lectures about this kind of stuff, or by Maybe by 11th house is also mentors, involving a mentor that can help you, involving a friend that can help you as well. And also 11th house is goals, mutual goals to have with someone. So how you can smooth out and help out some of the stresses that come from the more difficult planets in the 7th house that can create some challenges is by focusing on this 11th house where Venus is, and telling and seeing what is it that we have mutually as a goal together, a goal that can connect us, because Venus is connecting influence. This is what can harmonize a relationship, rather than focusing on the differences, focusing on the things that don't work in the relationship, to improve it, to kind of create some balance. Now when there are more stressful energies in the 7th house of one-to-one relationship, focus on your mutual goals together, and that is going to be your saving ticket and way out of more complicated situation. Okay, so I think we covered everything, and of course there is a new moon in your 10th house on the 16th or 17th of April, I think, which means that the sun and the moon are together in the 10th house. Mercury is no longer retrograde, so you kind of completed some old career or work project, and now you can have some new beginning. Maybe you cleared up something from your career and social status or with authority figures, and when the new moon comes from after the 16th of April, new moon is new beginnings. So new projects can appear in regards to your career, new inspiration. When there was a new moon in my 10th house, I came up with all those amazing ideas in regards to my career. I couldn't implement them immediately, but possibly when the sun enters into Cancer in 2-3 months, you'll be able to implement those ideas. But something new is going to be born in the second part of April in regards to your career and social status. So thank you so much, guys. Check out the classes and webinars we're offering in March and in April. And thank you for your kind support and being always following my videos and being so supportive and kind, and share with us what's happening, how we can help you. Remember, this month, Cancers, Venus, the 11th house of groups, is what supports you. Share with others, will help you through that. Thank you.